This ain't your ordinary football show. It's the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder.
The much-needed week of rest is over. Beaten up bodies have healed, heads have cleared, papers have been written, and now the Monarchs get back to what they do best, play college football. Their first season in Conference USA continues with a trip to Western Kentucky. What do we have to look forward to this second half of the season? Let's find out. The Old Dominion Football Show starts now. I'm Bruce Rader along with Coach Bobby Wilder. You were looking forward to this bye week so much. Did you accomplish what you had hoped to accomplish?
We really did, Bruce, in terms of the health part. There's two parts to a bye. There's the part where you get your guys rested, get some guys healed up. The second part is the practice. So we were 50%. We got the healthy part. We didn't practice. I just didn't feel like we could with the number of injuries. But we really used this week, Bruce, last week to focus on what they needed to do academically and then getting guys healed up, which really helped us as a team.
All right. Saturday, you traveled to Western Kentucky for the first time in school history.
Right.
Of all the teams in the conference that you've played this year, is this the best matchup?
Boy, I feel like they're the best 2-4 team in America right now, Bruce. They should be 6-0, quite honestly. And listen to this, Bruce. Here's their the games they've lost. Here's the scores at halftime. FAU, they're leading 31-14. UAB, they're winning 27-14. Middle Tennessee, they're tied at 24. And Illinois, out at Illinois, they're winning 17-14. So they've been up on everybody. Even Middle Tennessee, they were up by 10 points, and they've lost those games in the second half. So the key to this game is to be with them at halftime, be within striking distance, because they've lost leads in every game. Could be a 6-0 team.
Now, we will be seeing two outstanding quarterbacks in this game on Saturday. Do you expect a pass-happy contest?
It very well could be. I think the winner is the team that can run the ball and convert on third down. Their quarterback, Brandon Dowdy, is second in the nation in passing yards. He's going for almost 420 yards a game. Taylor's going for 270. They're 1-2 in the league, Bruce, in a lot of categories. Touchdown passes. Dowdy has 19, Taylor has 18. They're leading the league. So you'd think two very good quarterbacks throwing the ball, but I really think this game comes down to who can run it effectively, control the game, and then third down.
Let's talk about the running game. I understand you're making a little change at running back.
We are, yeah. The true freshman, Ray Lowry, will start. His last two games, Bruce, against Marshall and against UTEP, he's gone for a combined 250 yards. He's gone for 125 yards in each game. And Bruce, something that people might not have noticed, statistics that's really jumped out to me, he's averaging over 8 yards a carry. And that's because he's had explosive runs. Out at UTEP, he had a 50-yard run. Against Marshall, he had a 50-yard run. So we feel like we've got to start him, get him the ball more. The one area that he's really improved, he needed to, was his knowledge of protections, being able to protect the quarterback versus blitz.
Now, you had said that previously that you had hoped that this week would be a week to help your injured players heal. How does the roster look?
It's much better, Bruce. We just completed our best week of practice. The first practice we had on Tuesday, we'd been off for 10 days from the UTEP game, was the best practice of the year, clearly. And we've gone from having 20 guys on that injury report that were really either hurt or banged up to we're down to about 5 guys that are somewhat banged up at this point. So I feel like we'll be the healthiest we've been all year going to Western Kentucky.
All right, you described your last game at Texas El Paso as being your Super Bowl. How important is it to win at Western Kentucky?
Oh, this is absolutely critical. We felt like I described that as the biggest game of the year at UTEP because we were going into the bye and could have gone into it 4-3, 2-2 in the league, which would have been outstanding. And I think a lot of it had to do with the travel, the injuries. We just did not perform well in that first half. But the way we bounced back in the second half, the way the kids have been this week, if we can get this win, Bruce, and get to 4-4 overall, now we're within striking distance of that magic number of 6 and potentially get into a bowl game. So this is a big one for us.
And the attitude is good. Really good.
I'm so proud of these kids, Bruce. I absolutely love this team. This is clearly my favorite team that I've coached, and I've loved all of them. But these 110 kids, and particularly all these new kids that have joined us, they're trying to figure this out. They're trying to learn how to play at this level. They're trying to be competitive, but they work hard at it. They come and spend extra time with the coaches in meetings and watching video. They really love to play football, and they love representing Old Dominion. So I know we're going to be fine. Even if the wins aren't the way they want us to, we're going to be a really good football team.
And they're a part of history.
They sure
and
are.
when we return, it's time for another installment of the Coach's Corner. That's when Coach Wilder answers your questions. And it doesn't get much bigger than this, Coach. It's the 1-minute drill with the one and only Taylor Heineke. Last time you'll ever see this. Coming up next on the Old Dominion Football Show.
Welcome back to the Old Dominion Show, and we are here for the 1-minute drill. I think most people know number 14. This is Taylor Heineke, the quarterback of the Monarchs. And if there was one question you wanted to ask any of your teammates, what would it be?
What goes through David Washington's head on a daily basis? I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. He's a really weird dude. That's pretty much it.
What's the most awkward date you've ever been on?
I haven't been really on many dates. If you want to know the guy that gets all the girls, you need to ask number 7, Nick England. He's a chick magnet, so you'll have to ask him.
Will you ever take any tips from him?
I don't know. He has his own style, but it seems to work out pretty well, so you'll have to ask him.
Would you consider yourself a 90s kid?
A 90s kid? What do you mean by that?
Nope, he's not a 90s kid. What is the one thing that you do not want to happen during a game?
Get hurt, obviously. If I get hurt, I can't play no more. That's no good.
This is Taylor Heineke, and this has been the 1-minute drill. Taylor, thank you very much, and why don't you say goodbye to the Monarch Nation?
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, this week's question is from Barry in Norfolk. If Marshall and East Carolina win the rest of their games, which team do you think deserves the invite to one of the major bowl games?
Boy, that's a great question, Bruce, by Barry. Right now, you look at it and you see that East Carolina's ranked 17 in the country, Marshall's 22, but when you go to the Sagarin rankings, which encompasses wins, strength of schedule, everything else, Marshall's rated higher than East Carolina. And it looks like right now, Bruce, if they both would win out, East Carolina would be 11-1. They got the loss to South Carolina. Marshall would be 13-0, having to win the Conference USA championship game. So you got a 13-win team, an 11-win team. That'd be a tough selection. Personally, I'm pulling for the team in the league. I'm pulling for Marshall, but I think they're both deserving of a big game.
All right, Coach. And if you have a question for Coach Wilder, send it to me at bruce.rader@wavy.com. Now, we talked about injuries. We know how important that the kicking game is. Ricky Seegers, we're not going to see him anymore this season. What happened, and who will replace him?
Yeah, he actually was kicking off at UTEP, kicked the ball in the end zone, and he ended up tearing his meniscus in his right knee, which had been bothering him, Bruce, since back in the Hampton game. So Jarrett Servi, true freshman from North Carolina, who has been our starting punter, has been averaging 41 yards a punt, doing a very good job. He's also a good kicker, so Jarrett will handle both those duties. Richie's going to undergo surgery right now. Ricky has got to have surgery on that knee, and we're hoping, Bruce, it's just a torn meniscus. They got to check the ACL also, so fingers crossed it's just a meniscus for Seegers.
But he's out for the year.
He is. He's out for the year, yeah.
You sent your assistant coaches all over the country recruiting this past bye week.
Right.
How are young players and their high school coaches responding to the Old Dominion program right now?
Yeah, the most interesting thing to me, Bruce, that I heard from our coaches, and this is whether they were in California, New Jersey, Georgia, Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, or the majority of the time we spend here in Virginia, is how many of these kids now have seen us play on TV. All of our games except Western Kentucky this year are on television, and kids have been seeing us play. There were so many kids in California and Georgia, for example, that watched the Rice game. It was on national television, so that's been a real good feedback we've gotten on the road.
All right. Old Dominion on the road at Western Kentucky, Saturday 4 o'clock kickoff. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Bruce.
We'll
Appreciate
see
it.
you next Friday night right here for the Old Dominion Football Show. Good night, everybody.